Says, need your help here, guys. How do I play old JRPGs without having to check a guide every 2 minutes? Well, my problem is more about modern JRPGs. I've been having that issue for the past 5 games that I played. I was checking up a walkthrough over and over again. It didn't used to be this way back in the old times, but nowadays, I feel like, how do developers expect us to know where you're supposed to go sometimes, or how to get this? An good example is Atelier Ryza. I needed to make an item, and the game tells you, you need to make this item, but in order to make this item, you need this other material. You need this material. And this is a material you've never seen before in the game. Where the fuck is that material? It's me. And there's like 12 different dungeons and areas I can go to right now. Probably more, 15. And the street vendors do not sell this specific material. And it gets worse. I have no idea where that material is. So what do? I check off a fucking walkthrough online. Where is this material? And then some guy replies, oh, it's in this forest area at the bottom. So you go there, you get the freaking material, you come back, you put that material so you can craft the item, and it turns out, no, you just craft this other item. To unlock the real item you want, you need to unlock a recipe first. But to unlock that recipe, you need another fucking material that's nowhere to be found. You've never heard about it before. You have no way of knowing that. But Atelier Ryza has an excuse. Any other video game in existence has an excuse nowadays. So that's my question. My answer to you was the person who asked this question. My answer is you can't just play old JRPGs without having to check up on walkthrough, It's just, sometimes it's impossible. But nowadays, thankfully, you have walkthroughs. Imagine back in the day on Super Nintendo PS1 RPGs, you were like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? And there was no internet back then. There were no guides or walkthroughs, You had to figure it out for yourself and spend hours just roaming around, wandering, going from one place to another, or asking of a friend or two maybe, or it was back then it was just like that. And nowadays, with this Ryza example that I put, that I gave, I just think, okay, it's not such a big pain in the ass because, you can find out about everything on the internet. But at the same time, it's still a pain in the ass to have to do that. How am I supposed to know that this fucking material is in the middle of fucking nowhere? How was I supposed to know that? There's just no way to know that. Or to know that the fact that this material, you can craft it. You have no way of knowing that. All this time I was looking everywhere for that material, and it turns out it doesn't exist in the overworld. You had to craft it by synthesizing this other stuff and creating a new recipe out of that other stuff, and then creating a new recipe out of the new recipe. It's bullshit, but that's Atelier for you. All Atelier games have been this way since the beginning. Since the first release, since Atelier Marie on the Sega Saturn. So nowadays, exactly, it's just super easy to get help. You just look it up online, that's it. But still, you shouldn't have to. That's the problem, It's like that fucking thing on Simon's Quest. In Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. How the fuck are you supposed to know that you had to go to the corner, to the dead end, and lean on your knees for 15 seconds and wait for a freaking tornado to... come on. Come on, how was I supposed to know that I needed to do this material to craft this thing so I can get this new recipe, to get this other new recipe that I need to... it's impossible to know that. Unless you're synthesizing every single fucking item in the game, and we're talking about hundreds of items in the Atelier series. But thank God for the internet, right? I quit a bunch of games in the past because there was no internet. There was just no way to know. I remember playing Zelda 2 when I was little, and my brother and we used to play that game, and we got stuck in a part. Don't ask me, I don't remember where, but we just We didn't know what to do. We asked our friends, we asked everybody we knew. Nobody knew because nobody could beat that game. It was so fucking hard. I never met anybody when I was little that beat Zelda 2. No one. But the point is that, it's just there was no way to know. It was frustrating. So I quit in the game and never touched it again. So yeah, those were the days. So to the guy who was asking about that, come on, man, You have the internet nowadays. It was way worse back then. Nobody knew. If your friend in school didn't know, you're fucked. Who are you gonna ask? Oh, maybe you could call Nintendo Power. You could do that, right? Or buy the magazine. We had these magazines too in Mexico, but they weren't that helpful, when getting stuck in some areas, And nowadays you just get stuck and grab your phone and what do I do? This is, oh, thanks. But Natalia fucking Riza. Okay, let's change the subject.